Hi friends, today we're going to talk about commas. Now, commas have a lot of different uses. So, for example, you can use commas for short pauses. First, comma, write your name. So anytime we use transition words in our writing, you've probably heard me say that you use a comma after, and that's what you use for. Now, when you write a comma, you want it to hang down on the line, like it's shown here in the picture. So it hangs down like your letters that hang down like Y or P, things like that. In addition to short pauses, you also can use commas for lists, which we'll actually focus a lot on next week, or a series is what it's called. So I have pencils, comma, pens, comma, and paper. So it's a list of things. Now what we're focusing on this week is these two sections. We're going to be focusing on using commas and dates. So if I have January 20th, 2021, I would put a comma in between the date and the year. Okay, just separates those numbers. And we're going to be using it in places. So this, I gave an example of city and state. So Fairmont, comma, West Virginia. If I were also to add the country, United States of America, you would have to put a comma between the state and the country. Okay? So let's go over some examples so you can see this in action. So let's look at commas in dates. So a date tells the month, the number of the day, and the year. Use a comma between the day and the year in a date. So, right here's our example. Papa built the fruit stand on May 15th, comma, 1989. And our thinking question is, which number shows the day and which number shows the year? So this number shows the day, 15, and 1989 shows the year. And it's kind of hard to see, but there is that comma here. Okay? Alright, so we're going to write the date in each sentence and put a comma in the correct place. So, he opened the fruit stand on May 20th, 1989. So, looking at that date, I need a comma between the day and the year. So, the day, the 20th, May 20th, and the year is 1989. So, that is where my comma goes. Mr. Carlin bought apples on October 18th, 1991. Where do I put the comma here? Well, I put it in between the day and the year. The day is the 18th, and the year is 1991. Go. Again, it's hanging down at the bottom of the lines. Alex bought grapes on June 4th, 1995. So, putting the comma between the day and the year. The day is June 4th, so that 4, and the year is 1995. And that's actually the year that I was born, so I like that year a lot. I'm glad it's on the paper. Alright, so the fruit stand closed on November 2nd, 1996. Where do I put the comma here? Well, in between the day and the year. So the day is November 2nd, and the year is 1996, so the comma goes between those two. Hope you're seeing a bit of a pattern here. The last one says the stand opened again on May 1st, 1997. So, where am I putting my comma in this sentence? Between the day and the year. So the day is May 1st, and the year is 1997. So our comma goes in between those. So those are commas in dates. So now let's look at commas with place names, places, okay? So use a comma between the name of a city or town and the name of a state. Jake owns a store in Chicago, Illinois. Our thinking question is, which word is the name of the city or town and which name is the name of the state? So the Chicago is the name of the city and Illinois is the name of the state. So that's why it's hard to see, but there is a comma there. Alright, so we're going to read these sentences and we're going to look for the city and the state so we can put the comma in between them. So it says Jake sells cheeses from Marion, Wisconsin. Well, I know that Wisconsin is a state, so Marion must be the city, which is the name of our county, right? So Jake sells cheese from Marion, comma, Wisconsin. So putting a comma between the city and the state. He sells chili from Houston, Texas. Well, I know Houston is a city. It's a city I've heard of before. And Texas is the state, so my comma is going to go in between those two. Okay? He sells oranges from Gifford, Florida. Well, I've never heard of Gifford, but I do know that Florida is a state, so Gifford must be the city. So the comma's going to go in between Gifford and Florida. Hope you're noticing a pattern again. He sells crawfish from New Orleans, Louisiana. All right, well, I know New Orleans is a city, and I know Louisiana is the state, so I'm putting the comma between the city and the state right there. All right, last example. He sells apple pies from Seattle, Washington. Seattle is the city, Washington is the state, and so we're going to put a comma in between those two. Okay, so those are our two focuses for this week. While we use commas a lot, we are specifically looking at dates, so you want it between the day and the year. And city and state is our biggest focus, but place names in general. So like our Fairmont, comma, West Virginia. So separating the city from the state. All right, friends, have a great rest of your day.